Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the Evermore YouTube channel. I pressed the wrong button there. I'm that shocked by the fact Newcastle United have just got a point at St James's Park against Manchester City. What a performance by the lads. Unbelievable. We're going to get through this in a second, talk about the game, talk about the battle and performances by the lads and everything that went with it. So stick with us today. We'll have a quick response about it. We are live as always, so jump in the comments and let us know what you guys think in the comments below. What a performance by the lads. Unbelievable. Going to get stuck right into this. If this is the kind of thing that you like, remember to smash subscribe. Help us get to that 9,000 subscriber mark. I don't know what the hell's going on with the screen here. It's 8,600 instead of 8,700. No idea what the hell Mark's done. He's out somewhere. The man in the chair is fucked off from the chair and he's left me in charge. So I'm doing the microphone and the camera shit, but I don't care because Newcastle got a point and it was an absolutely brilliant performance. There's a few of you already in the comments there, which we'll get stuck right into in a second. But let's look how the teams lined up today. So that was the big talking point in terms of who was going to play. Alexander Isak didn't make it. His dodgy toe obviously took him out of the game. He wasn't even on the bench at all. So it's probably a good thing in many ways because not many people gave us a chance in this game. So I don't think playing Alexander Isak would have really done anything to prove that point, probably which would have made him even more injured for coming fixtures where he might win. But look at that. It was a pretty strong team, to be fair. I think most people called it. Kieran Trippier come back into the back four. Again, continued from that start against Fulham. He's looking better and better trips, I think, with more game time. There's a lot of talk about him leaving through the week. But again, I thought he had a good game today. I'll get stuck into that. Fabian Schär and Burn at the back. Lewis Hall was in at left back. I'm a big fan of Lewis Hall. And again, I thought he was really good today. We'll get stuck into that. The midfield three, that was the big talking point. Will he, won't he? Well, he did. He started Sandro Tonali alongside Bruno Guimaraes and Joe Linton, that dream three that we've all been hoping for. They started the game. And the front three had Anthony Gordon, the man of the moment, through the middle, new deal in the offing, with Jacob Murphy on the right-hand side and Harvey Barnes in the left-hand side of the pitch. And we started the game, I think we started the first half quite well, to be fair. I mean, there was a lot of back and forth. I think Newcastle kind of shaded it a little bit, but I think Manchester City, the quality kind of shone through really in terms of the goal itself. So the goal comes kind of around about the half-an-hour mark. It's Guardiola of all bloody people, you know, who's an incredible player. You know, he's a defender and he finishes like a bloody centre forward. But you know, I thought Trippier and Burn were solid most of the game. I thought they battled really hard. This was the one moment in the game really that kind of fucked up a little bit. I think Trippier dives in, gets a little bit overzealous on Grealish, gets a little bobble off of his knee, comes through, but it's a beautiful weighted pass from Grealish through to Guardiola, and he dips his shoulder, and Burn just buggers off for a hot dog down the big market, and then he slips in. Sandro Tonali's coming to try and stop the ball and just kind of clips him and goes into the back of the net. So the City are 1-0 up, but Newcastle's heads didn't drop. You know, they worked really hard. I think the work rate was there. I think Bruno was getting on the ball in midfield. Joe Linton was getting around, smashing into people. Sandro was getting around as well. You know, I think the back four, you know, Schär and Burn really kept Haaland quiet for the majority of the game. You know, I think there's one part of the, is it the first half? I think it is, where Haaland, no, it's the second half, sorry, where Haaland gets through 1-on-1. Brilliant save by Pope, comes off his line and gets a fist to it as well. But we go in 1-0 at half time, and we come out, and I don't know what Howe said at the half time, but we come out absolutely reignited, ready to go for the second half, and just absolutely smashing it. You know, the intensity, the tempo of the game was turned up to 100. And even the commentators were saying that as well on TNT Sports. Ali McCoy's great commentary. I love McCoy's in the commentary. But the tempo of the game was brilliant. It was back and forth. You know, City weren't looking as kind of composed and set, you know, as they would normally do. You know, Newcastle were really getting in amongst them and some really good performances, you know, for me, which was brilliant to see, in all fairness. It really, really was. We've had a few in the comments earlier on. I think George was in early doors. Ian is buzzing from the performance. But yeah, I just think the lads really worked hard today. I think Gordon through the middle was outstanding today in terms of his work rate and his graft. You know, we saw the war flags display for him in the crowd, which is absolutely sensational. You know, the AG10. You know, we're talking about the new deal. He looked like he had a smile on his face in the pre-match interview. You know, with Lindsay Hipgrave at TNT Sports, and then he come out and he worked really, really hard, and that's no mean feat. You know, to play kind of through the middle on your own, really, against Manchester City. And he did really, really well. And then our equaliser comes, and it was coming. You know, there was chances where Gordon found space in behind the back four of City, but he just kept getting flagged a little bit offside. They were stepping up really well. The kind of fall asleep for half a second. Bruno Guimaraes threads a beautiful ball through, gets in the ball, dinks past a couple, threads this beautiful pass through. He tried it about 3 or 4 times before, Bruno, but the offside beat him or just flicked off a City player. But Gordon burst through with speed. It's a brilliant bit of play. Knocks it round Ederson. Ederson takes him down. It's a blatant penalty. A blatant penalty. You know, they went to VAR to check it, wasting their fucking time, in my opinion, because it was a blatant penalty. So we'll get the penalty. Gordon steps up to take it. He smashes it away and celebrates like a good one in front of the crowd. And you could see how much that meant to Anthony Gordon. And he does. He looks like he wants to be here. He's going to put pen to paper. You know, the whole will he, won't he leave thing is going to disappear. And Gordon looked back at it today. He really, really did. And it was brilliant to see. But after 1-1, Newcastle went looking for a winner. You know, we did. We had some brilliant bits of play. Like I say, Pope came to the rescue a couple of times. But Joe Linton, again, I think in the first half had a brilliant strike as well. That was just, you know, saved by Ederson really well. You know, and then you know, we kept Haaland quiet, some great saves. Pope pulls off a blinding save against Bernardo Silva towards the end to keep us in the game. But we had chances as well. There was Murphy coming through, broke through a couple of times really, really well. With the ball at the backstick, Barnes came close. So we were really in this game. And it ended 1-1. And I think it was a brilliant performance by the lads. And to play against a team like that, regardless if they're missing De Bruyne or Rodri, it doesn't really matter. I mean, if a team can bring Phil Foden off the bench, who was brilliant, by the way, when he come on, probably a good job he didn't start. But if a team's that good, they can bring a player like that off the bench and we get a point against them, I think it's a brilliant performance for me all around it. It really, really is. A couple of comments there. Ashley, I agree. I think Joe Linton was phenomenal. Again, today, I'm just looking at some of his stats here. 87% passing completion. He won 4 of his 14 ground duels, 4 out of 4 of his aerial duels, 4 tackles, and I think he was 1 block shot, 4 clearances. You know, so he just looked back to the animal, didn't he, today, Joe Linton? And we want that out of Joe Linton and Bruno. And I think him, Tonali, and Bruno in that midfield getting a point out of this game. There's no coincidence. That's our best 3 midfield, and to play against, you know, the likes of Kovacic and Rico Lewis, who's still a young lad who's kind of slipping into midfield from full back position. You know, Gundogan was in there as well. You know, they bring Foden off the bench. These are a top quality side. I think for those 3 to start that game and do so well together, to me, I think is absolutely brilliant. And George says, yeah, very good considering we had no strikers. Absolutely. And no strikers to come off the bench. Old Gabe Nuba saying, great game. It really was. I think St. James's Park was electric as well. The crowd, absolutely brilliant. The volume, the temperature, the atmosphere. You know, when that goal went in, when the penalty went in, it just went up a level as well. And I thought it was absolutely fantastic. It really, really was. What a great game to be at today. I was at the City game last season when they beat us 3-2, and that was electric as well. But this was brilliant today. I agree with you. Yeah, Dave said that Tonali was excellent. Given the fact that's his first Premier League start, you know, in a year or something like that, it's absolutely brilliant for him to play that level of football in there. Stuck one on there, and Jack Grealish as well, didn't he? I mean, Jack Grealish is a lovely fella. I saw that video through the week of him getting his, his sister to come and train with the first team, who's obviously, got a disability, and he's a lovely lad, is Grealish. But when he's on the pitch, you just want to fucking nail him, don't you? I thought Trippier was excellent as well today. I thought he looks sharper. He looks like he's getting back to his best. He really, really does. You know, he played 78 minutes a day, 86% passing completion. Just looking at his other stats there in terms of his tackles, 3 tackles, 1 interception. He only got dribbled past once, 2 clearances. That's the kind of Kieran Trippier that we need. Calm, professional, experienced, quality, able to get stuck into players. And we just look better. We look better balanced on that side with Trippier. And I think hopefully he can knuckle down, get his head right, keep playing week in, week out. Keep playing like that, he'll get into the team, and then all of this noise about wanting to leave will disappear. If he wants to leave for personal reasons, I totally understand that. Livermore didn't look bad when he come on. A little bit of pace there, but we don't have that same quality when Trippier isn't on the pitch. I agree with you, Ian. I think Lewis Hall was excellent today, defensively as well. The whole criticism of Lewis Hall has been, good on the ball, good going forward, not very good defensively. Excellent today defensively, absolutely brilliant. He really, really was. His passing completion was only 68%, but he won 2 of his 3 ground duels. I think he had an interception, 2 block shots and a clearance. He only got dribbled past once. And his positional sense was really good as well. I really want Lewis Hall to make that position his own, because he could be such a good left back for us. He really, really could moving forward. And I just think, for me, brilliant game from Lewis Hall. Really, really good. Yeah, absolutely, Dave. I totally agree with that. Graham says, brilliant point. The real NUFC stood up today. Where the lads? Superb, mate. Absolutely. That's what the Newcastle United is that we know and we love. We want that passion. We want that kind of intensity. It's interesting. Eddie Howard talked about, the training was more intense this week. And I just wonder whether whatever happened behind the scenes previously, whatever tweaks and changes were made to training, maybe reset back to what made us so good in the last couple of seasons. And that's why we saw that Newcastle United today. Obviously, we've got another game on Tuesday. We'll feel the fatigue of this game. There's no doubt there will be changes for Tuesday. I'm pretty sure about that. We'll be back with that for a post-match as well. But that's going to give the lads loads of confidence going in to that game on Tuesday night, the rescheduled game against Wimbledon. I agree with Trevor. Great point performance. Christ alive. Lobby, you need to be putting that away. So I know that I felt for Sean. That's Sean's biggest issue, isn't it? The composure in the moment. Same with Murphy. There was a chance, but I think just before, Murphy made a really shit pass when an easy ball across the box was there, but then seconds later he megs the City player and dances around him like he's prime George Best. That's just typical of bloody Murphy, isn't it? The inconsistency is there, which is incredible. Aggregate Nuba took Gordon and Isaac out of his team last night, as he felt. I was holding them back by picking them. Sure enough, Gordon scored. He's definitely not getting back in my team. Well, if it means we get good performances, mate, you're going to have to sacrifice for the greater good, I would say. Vince is saying, great result, great performance. Totally agree. It's a Kiwi Tune benchmark. Now let's roll our sleeves up and attack the season. Absolutely. I just think that, that's what the lads are capable of. Raise it for the big occasion, of course. Raise it for the big teams. But don't put in 30% of that performance against a Bournemouth or a Forest or a team like that, or a Fulham, because we need those levels to be consistently high for all the games, to be fair. Common F Major and Mills Design. Longstaff missed. But what a good game. Couldn't watch. As I had a heart attack. I hope he didn't have an actual heart attack, mate. If he did, get well soon. I hope the game didn't give you a heart attack. Bloody hell. Dave saying that felt like a win. It did. I mean, people might say that's tin pot, but I don't agree with that, Dave. I think that kind of performance does feel like a win. And I think, if we had an Alexander Isak come off the bench at the end of that game, it could very well have been a win, to be brutally honest with you. I think it would have been fairly steady. And you wouldn't have begrudged Newcastle for it. Steve saying that's easily the best we've played all season. It is early doors, mate. I do agree with that. Pushed it your way. Could easily have won that one. Yeah, I totally agree, mate. I really do think that, that we could have done it. I know Adrian saying he had a heart attack in June, but what a good game. We are back. Well, get well soon, mate, and let's hope we are back. Viva Vendetta saying, proud of the lads today. They gave us our all, went for it. Didn't just sit back and wait to get beat. They were very good. Win, lose, or draw. That's enough for me. Yeah, that's all we want, isn't it, V? We just want the performance. People can, talk about it and say, oh, you're being too picky. You can't be criticizing the lads. But for me, that's what we want. We want that endeavor, that intensity, that pressure that the lads can put on big teams like that. But we need that in other games as well, not just against the big boys. So we've got Flash Gordon's alive, says Steve. Absolutely. Martin saying, what do you think of Walker's challenge? Made absolutely no attempt to the ball. Was that the one on Joe Litton? I did wonder that, the commentators were quick to say, no. But when Joe Litton breaks through, he just kind of throws his leg out. It looks like it clips Joe Litton's leg. I think on another day that could easily have been a pen. If they'd been sent to the monitor for that, I think they would have had a really big decision to make about that. Brian's proud of the lads. Me too, Brian. Absolutely. I think George is saying he can't see why J7 didn't get anything there for that penalty. Absolutely. Stephen saying he thought the crowd were quiet today. I think the goal woke them up, Stephen. If anyone was at the game, let us know. But obviously, I was just knowing what I listened to on the telly there. Shearer's saying he didn't believe it was a pen, given agreeing with him. Well, fair enough. But look back at it again in slow motion. It's one of them things that you could easily see, could easily be given. Another comment there from Szechuan. I hope this result turns our form around. Well, if you get a result like that against the best that there is in the league, really, I know Arsenal fans will disagree, but they are the best. I think if you can get a performance like that against them, then there's no reason why you can't get your form up and get the confidence there. Firestarter says Tonali was a monster. Given the lack of game time that he's played, Firestarter, I think you're totally right. And to go into a game like that, in a performance like that, I think was brilliant from Sandro. I think the reason he took him off was just because he was burnt out. He obviously had an ice pack on his knee at halftime. If anybody didn't see that, anyone who was watching the game wasn't watching the game on TV. So he maybe took a bit of a knock. But, for me, it's Sandro, Joe Linton and Bruno have to be the midfield three. If they can perform like that, they have to be the midfield three. I agree with you, Charles. St. Charles, it's definitely the best performance of the season. Regardless of just getting a point, for me, absolutely, as Kev says, miles better today than we have been all season. You can ask where that's been, but for me, I just think that the lads have had longer on the training pitch. I think whatever's gone on behind the scenes, again, all the changes that were made, maybe we've just kind of thought, you know what, let's just put it back to what got us to the party, what got us to the Champions League finishes, what made us that difficult team to beat. And it really looked like that was back today. And I hope that they understand that it's okay bringing in the new, but you can't just completely erase the old. And the training and the intensity and the quality that got you to where you want to be, where you were in terms of a top 4 finish. You can't just flick that away for something new. So hopefully the club behind the scenes get a little bit more settled, a little bit more calmness between Eddie and upstairs, likes of Anthony Gordon settling down. We might see a lot more performances like that from the lads moving forward. Peter saying, great from the lads. If we keep this up, it'll be a top 4 finish, very likely. It's a big if, but we need to keep it up. We've got some big games coming in the next few weeks. Northumberland Rock Hopper, good to see you, mate. Great point and much better. But we all know they would improve against the big teams. It's the bread and butter games that we're struggling. Absolutely, mate. I said that earlier on there. So we need to be able to do this against the likes of a Forest or a Brighton or a West Ham or a Bournemouth or something like that. Again, listen, West Ham and Brighton are pushing us for the same league positions. But for me, I think, we really need to put in those performances in the games where you would think Newcastle will have more of the ball. We put the brick on the accelerator, great name. Hard to say exactly how much improvement there was today. City been off their best. No expectations for Newcastle to really get anything from the game. An absolute mint point, though, regardless. Yeah, I agree with that. There is a little bit of mitigation there. City were missing 2 huge players and they didn't look their best, but you can only beat what's in front of you, we played really well against the best team in the league. Latvia saying, Sky Sports saying our penalty was controversial. Well, of course they would, because they all support fucking Arsenal, Man United and Liverpool. David is saying, I reckon Howe said to do this for Darren. I'm not sure about that, Dave, to be honest with you. But I'm not going to get too much into that, but I'm not entirely sure. Kev says, maybe Trippier retiring from England will make him play better for Newcastle, less responsibilities. To be fair, I think we had the same thing with Shearer, didn't we, many years ago, and Shearer retired from England, and you saw it was either Newcastle or England, really. I think we'll see Trippier maybe get back to his best because there isn't as much rigours on his old body than there is now. But, he's still got a little bit to go. He looks sharper and sharper week in, week out. But, yeah, I'm really happy with what I'm seeing from Kieran Trippier. Costas Santos saying, I've had enough of these motherfuckers from City controlling refs and all that. Edison and Grealish should have been sent off. Greetings from Greece, lads. Greeting to you as well, mate. I hope it's nice over in Greece. It's sunny in the northeast. I'm sure it's not sunny as where you are, mate. But, yes, City do like to boss around the referee. I'm all right with it. I like us doing that. I wish we were a little bit more bolshy like that, a bit more ballsy like that and shout at the referees. We're too nice sometimes. Guy Roberts saying, cracking result, absolutely, Guy. 100%, mate. Unbelievable today. Shearer69 says, we were great today and could have won it. I think we could have done it. Like I say, if Isaac had managed to shake off that toe and be on the bench and we brought him on, you could have easily seen him get the winner. I mean, I was screaming for Joe Willock to get through a couple of times, when we slipped in the ball, and he just couldn't get free, couldn't wriggle free, could he, be fair, which was a real shame. Barnes again ghosting at the back stick. It would just be like Barnes, the form easy to put that away. But listen, a point is a point and a brilliant point at that. Tim C is saying, that's a tricky start of season, and with the gaffer in the stands, back Eddie, that's what money City gives you. Who are the lads? Yeah, exactly. You can see that. I mean, City's the pinnacle where we all want to be. Certainly where Newcastle United wanted to be when this takeover happened. Everybody thought we were going to be City. I think if FFP and PSR hadn't existed, we possibly would be on a very similar trajectory to them, but we've gone a different way. The signings we've made have been very, very good signings, smart signings. We've pulled some absolute gems for under 40 million quid in the shapes of Bruno Guimaraes, Sven Botman, Alexander Isak, even for the cost we got him for, under 100 million for the player that he is, Antonali as well. So we've signed some really unbelievable players. And, we just need to make sure in January we strengthen it. We don't rest on our laurels, because you can't do that in this league. If you rest on your laurels, you won't move anywhere. So I think the board need to recognise that. They need to start signing some more players to give Eddie what he needs, give him that backup from that starting 11. Murphy, again, looked better today. Longstaff come on, worked hard, but some sloppy touches and poor decisions from both of them just shows you that lack of quality and depth that we don't have in the squad. if you have those quality in-depth players, you can make those substitutions and not affect the game in key moments. But the January window is a huge one. We won't get too into that in a minute. We need to concentrate on this next raft of games coming up. And for me, I just think that if Newcastle play like that against the likes of Brighton, against the likes of Everton, against the likes of even Arsenal at home, we've got a good chance of getting some good results. Roblox saying Gordon's back, lads are back, get in, absolutely. James Ansell saying happy draw, too right. Ty, Christ, I wish they played like that every single week. Absolutely. It would be nice if they did, but that wouldn't be football, would it, to be fair? We've got another comment there from, is that Adri? Hi, Chris. How are you? My man of the match is Anthony Gordon. Yeah, I was just going to get to that, mate. You beat me to it. Man of the match for me is going to have to be Anthony Gordon. I think to run that line on your own up front, really, and to do what he did and get his goal. Brilliant today, Anthony Gordon. Brilliant. Probably closely followed by, I'd probably say Nick Pope. I think the saves he made, that one off his line for Haaland, I think Pope was brilliant today. For all of his faults with his kick and his reactions as a keeper are second to none. Great shot stopper and really quick off his line today. So I think, Gordon, man of the match, Pope, close second for me. But really impressive performances from Bruno, from Joe, Trippier, Hall, Tonali. Some really, really good performances for me. And I just think this could be the starting point of Newcastle United being up to the levels that we all want them to be, the levels that we're all used to them being at under Eddie Howe. And, we're in a great position. We're fifth in the league and we've been shit all season, bar probably this game is the best that we've played. And if we can continue this form for the rest of the season, we could be a real force to reckon with. Ben is saying we finally found form. Yeah, just segue. Best game of the season. We arguably should have won. Great performance from the whole team. I'm really proud to support the team and hope I'm considered an honorary Geordie. Of course you are, mate. Anybody who's supporting Newcastle is an honorary Geordie, mate. And you're always welcome in the Evermore chat. Greenstein saying I was too nervous to watch it today. Very good result. If we'd only got something in the last game. Absolutely. We can't win them all, can you? She was saying that save by Pope, was superb. Tonali was great. Young Hall in defence had a great game. I really, really want Lewis Hall to make that spot his own. You've seen him today. His defensive capabilities are so vastly improved from what he was when he first came in. And he's so good on a ball. He's so calm and comfortable. That lovely little clip ball at the back stick for Jacob Murphy. Some of the passes under pressure. If Lewis Hall can just be more consistent in his positional sense, I think he could be a sensational left back. He really, really could. So let's just hope that if you do it against the best Lewis Hall, then you can do it against the rest, mate. Absolutely. Because what a player. And Costa says, don't forget to hit a like, guys. Really appreciate that. I know I had a bit of a technical wobble when I came in, and this screen isn't what it normally is. But Mark is out. I don't know what he's done. I can't be asked to piss around and mess around with it. You got me talking in front of the microphone. That's what you guys are all here for. But yes, smash that like and subscribe. We are over 3,700 subs, not 3,600. I have no idea what's going on in the back house. So if that's Mark's domain, my domain is in front of the camera talking about the tune with you guys. So we've got a member who's been a member for 5 months. Thank you so much, Dan Robinson. Really appreciate your support, buddy. Afternoon, not a win, but the season's best performance. 100%, mate. I think everyone's in the same mindset, really. They're just I said this in the preview. I think Mark said it as well in the preview. Sorry, I didn't do the preview. That's how clueless I am today. So the preview, we said this, and I said this in my video as well about Anthony Gordon. It was about the performance, not the result today. But we got both. We got the performance and we got the result. So for me, I think this is a brilliant performance by Newcastle. It could be a real Kickstarter for the rest of the season. A few of you guys are saying Anthony Gordon was definitely man of the match. What are you saying there, Kev? Was Joe Linton more like the Joe Linton we love? He was a bit more like that today. Some brilliant tackles, some strength that he showed. The one with him and Haaland smashed into each other reminded me of the fight between General Zod and Superman and Man of Steel. Just two monsters just colliding together, and not one of them whinged either when the referee blew up for a free kick. Loved that. Absolutely loved that. There's a lot of whinging on the pitch, but my word, and as Ian says there, wish somebody would have smashed that little shit Grealish. He has got that innate ability to wind you up, does Jack Grealish. Good player, but really, really pisses me off. Thank you very much, Tim, saying always a great watch, Chris. Really appreciate that. Comment from George saying, Chris, Mark's class, and he's your counterpart, but let's be honest, the channel is made by you, mate. Thank you very much, mate. But listen, it's a team effort. Me and Mark are the dynamic duo. I'll call him Robin to my Batman, shall I? He'll love that. But no, Mark puts in so much graft behind the scenes, guys, with all of the techie stuff that you see, and it's never underestimated by me. He's a ledge. Andrew saying another great win, Chris, mate. Didn't win it, mate. We didn't win it. It feels like we won it, but nearly. Benson Lewis Hall was great today. He's a midfielder playing left back, but he's so good going forward. See, I think he can be a left back. I mean, look at the transition that happened between Joe Linton from striker to midfielder, and the big one was Gareth Bale, wasn't it, from left back, probably the best left winger in the world. But I really think Lewis Hall can make that position his own. I think that's what's taken so long for his development in the background, because we're trying to basically reprogram and play that position. But I do think he's such a good player there. He can be brilliant. Because you're saying feels so much better than last week. I was so down and not sure where we were going. Absolutely. Boy wonder. We should do the Only Fools and Horses sketch, George, because I'm smaller than he is anyway. So we'll be running down the street like Del Boy and Rodders. But yeah, for me, like I said, we wanted the performance, we wanted the result. The lads delivered both today, and I think we're going to Tuesday now, really, really buzzing, don't we? We're going to Tuesday buzzing, waiting to hopefully get through in the cup as well. A good point against City, maybe through the next round of the cup, and then the next game we'll be saying bring it on, because we'll be more full of form. That's Eddie's stronger side with Isak. I would say so, 100%. Really, really appreciate it. Like Howard, Tyndall, Clough and Taylor, Chris and Mark. Yeah, you also have dynamic duos, mate. Absolutely. Ronald is saying, just think if we had a fit striker today with that performance, maybe Salah will get his chance to impress on Tuesday. I think you will, but personally didn't think he's up to it yet. I think you will get a chance. I think you will get a chance on Tuesday, because I think that's the kind of game that Eddie will want to kind of bleed him into the side and just see how he kind of sits and how he fits with the rest of the teammates in a game like that. Michael McDougall saying performance much better. Could have won it, but we as a team seem to expend so much energy and effort defending, even against the lesser teams. It worries me. I think that's the reason why Bunce was brought in, to try and, almost manage that workload. We do seem to do everything in the extreme, attacking, defending, all in the extreme, and it does exert so much energy. And I think that leads to burnout, which is probably what happened to all of those injuries last season that we had, But for me, I think we've got to just bask in the glory of a good performance today and a great result against one of the best teams in world football. Good to see you in the comments, buddy. Hope you're well, mate. If we can play like that with a firing Isak, we will be dangerous. Do you know the weird thing is, Ian? That was Isak will be foaming watching that game, because the amount of times Bruno broke free to midfield and slipped the through ball in for Gordon to run onto, and Sandro did it, and Joe Linton did it, and Lewis Hall did it, and Isak will be screaming, going, "Where were them fucking passes for me?" For the last few games, because I was having an absolute nightmare. Kevin's saying, no, it's not Plough Lane on Tuesday, it's St James's Park, mate. It's been switched to our home ground. So for the Wimbledon fans, that's a bit of a trek for them, but I'm sure a lot of them would love to come up and sample that atmosphere and that massive ground, that beautiful stadium that we all know and love so well. It'll be a big day out for them. But as much as I'm glad the club donated to the worthy fund for the pitch, I really want them to get beaten, us to go through the next round of the cup, because I am a Newcastle fan and that's how I feel about it. But jump in the comments for us, guys, on the Tuesday. We'll do a post-match analysis for that one as well. Thanks, Cushy. Yeah, smash the thumbs up, guys, if you like it. There's 300 odd of you in the chat there. So smash a like if you can. But yeah, a brilliant performance, absolutely brilliant from us today. Really buzzing with that. Eddie will be buzzing with that, I'm sure. No big injury concerns either. Thank God for that, which is brilliant. Joe Linton back to his best. Bruno looking good. Sandro playing well. Trippier getting there. Hall looking good. Anthony Gordon back to his best. Pope making brilliant saves. These are all great things for Newcastle United. Mark has just joined the chat. Robin, yeah, that's right. Robin, never mind, Robin. Where's the technical screens? You dropped me right in the mire when we come on. I'm still buzzing after the result, and I'm jumping on the mic. Terrible. I'm gonna dock him. I'm gonna dock him some pay. I'm only joking. I don't pay him for this. He just does it for the goodness of his heart, to be fair. So yeah, that's me all done, guys, for today's post-match. Thank you so much for joining us in the chat. It's always appreciated. And remember, smash a like and subscribe if you like this kind of a thing. We'll be back with what's going on Monday night, me and Mark, at 9:30, and then followed by a post-match analysis of the Wimbledon game at the end, and hopefully it'll be another Newcastle United win. Sorry, I'm just laughing here. George says you had one job to do, Mark, and Kev has put the Robert in there as well. Great way to end it, lads. Have a brilliant afternoon wherever you are in the world. Morning, afternoon, evening. Newcastle United got a great result today. I'm buzzing, you're buzzing. Roll on Tuesday night, and let's hope the lads keep on firing all cylinders. Have a belter. We'll see you later. Cheers.